So we are going to study chapter number 16, that is called waste management. What do you mean by waste? Waste is something that you don't want, that you have to throw into a garbage bin. That is called as waste. And what do you mean by management? Management means collection, transportation and disposal of garbage or sewage and other waste products to its treatment plant. That is called as waste management. In this particular chapter, you are going to learn the journey of wastewater treatment, wastewater to a wastewater treatment plant, and how from the wastewater we are going to get clean water. Water is an essential need of our lives to survive. We get clean water at our homes from taps, wells and hand pump. Clean water can necessarily not be drinking water. The water that is safe to drink or use for food preparation is known as a potable water. So what do you mean by potable water? Potable water means that is fit for drinking, that you can have for food preparation and that you can drink at home, that is known as a potable water. There are various steps and processes involved to get clean water. What are the steps? Let's do an activity to get clean water from dirty and muddy water. Activity: getting clean water from dirty and muddy water. How you will get clean water from dirty and muddy water? So material: beaker, conical flask, dirty and muddy water, funnel, filter paper, alum and chlorine tablet. Let's do. Fold the filter paper and place it in the funnel. Take dirty and muddy water in a beaker and pour it slowly over the funnel. Now add a pinch of alum powder to the filtrate and keep it undisturbed for 15 to 20 minutes. Decant water into the beaker slowly. Now add 1 chlorine tablet to water obtained. So what you have to do, you have to take a filter paper and you have to place it in the funnel. And you have to pour dirty and muddy water into the beaker and you have to filtrate through the filtrate paper. Now you have to add a pinch of alum powder to this filtrate collected and you have to keep it undisturbed for 15 to 20 minutes. What you will observe after 15 to 20 minutes? First, the filtrate was not clear, of course, because it was a muddy water. But then whenever you are going to add alum powder, what will happen? It will cause the dirt to settle down and make the solution very clear. And whenever you are going to add chlorine tablet to it, chlorine tablet dissolves in the water and makes it germ free. Now this water is fit for drinking and it can be reused. The scarcity of water is increasing day by day due to increase in population, urbanization and industrial growth, because lots of people there is an increase in population, so pure water is decreasing day by day. There is a need to conserve this pure water. United Nations took a serious note on water scarcity and decided to work for it from 2005 to 2015 towards the conservation of water and getting access to potable water. So they had a plan called Water for Life. In that plan, what they ensured, water is available to everyone present. Okay. Wastewater and its sources. Okay, what do you mean by wastewater? The water which is waste. Okay, the water which is having all the mixed impurities present in it, that is called wastewater. And what is called sources? Sources from where this water is getting collected, from where it is collected, that is known as a wastewater and its sources. From where the wastewater will come? The wastewater can come from industry, domestic activity, agriculture, building construction, hospitals and offices. We all know. And what do you mean? The definition of the wastewater is the various human activity and natural reasons the usable water becomes dirty. Of course, we are using water in day-to-day life, which will be okay. So, industry. The wastewater generated from our houses contain dirt, food waste, human feces, plastic, paper, metal objects. And domestic activity. The wastewater generated from our house contain detergent, food waste, human feces, plastic, paper, metal objects, etc. From industry, what wastewater you will get? Wastewater which is full of mercury or plastic and oil. And from the domestic activities, the wastewater generated will be from the kitchen, shower, wash basin, toilet, and it will consist of human feces, plastic, paper and metal objects. From the agriculture, wastewater generated from farms contain harmful pesticides and biocides and animal waste. Now, what do you mean by pesticide? Pesticide is a medicine that is used sprayed on the crops. Why it is sprayed on the crop? In order to kill the pest. Now, building construction. Large amount of wastewater is generated from the construction of buildings, hospitals, hotels and offices. Wastewater contain disease-causing germs. Of course, the wastewater coming from the hospital will contain lots of disease-causing bacteria and germs. Eroded soil and sediment can transport considerable amount of some nutrients such as organic nitrogen and phosphorus and some pesticides such as DDT to rivers and streams. So we all know, my dear student, whenever the wastewater is going to come from the farms, of course it will have a nitrogen and phosphorus, and also it will contain pesticides such as DDT to rivers and stream. The wastewater contain various suspended means solid impurity. These wastewater containing suspended impurity or the light material impurity that are floating in water is called sewage. The wastewater which is having all the dirt impurity, for example solid or liquid waste, that will be known as a sewage. So what is called sewage? The sewage is a complex mixture. It is a mixture of solid, organic and inorganic impurity, chemicals and microbes. So it will contain everything. It includes rainwater, wastewater, surface runoff water and waste from the drain. Sewage is a liquid waste that contains mostly dirty water, dissolved as well as suspended water. Now what do you mean by sewage? So sewage is a liquid waste which will contain. So sewage is a complex mixture of solid, liquid as well as gaseous impurities. It also includes rainwater, wastewater, okay, that is from the surface runoff. Now there are 4 types of contaminants. What do you mean by contaminants? Contaminants are the impurity which will make the water impure. For example, organic impurity. What do you mean by organic impurity? The human feces, animal dung, other plant and animal waste which is present in the water. Inorganic impurities means what? Dissolved chemical which is found in wastewater such as detergent, nitrate, phosphates and pesticide. Suspended harmful and poisonous chemical. Chemical are also found in the wastewater. Chemicals such as mercury, lead, arsenic also, which can cause disease if inhaled. Bacteria and other microbes. Bacteria cause waterborne disease like cholera, diarrhea, typhoid. Other microbes like protozoa and virus also cause disease. For example, hepatitis A virus cause jaundice. We all know if we are going to drink impure water, we are going to have disease. Okay, so you have to make sure that your water is clean before consumption. Find out how the wastewater from our house is carried away. Observe the sewage pipe which carry only wastewater from the toilet and also from the kitchen, bathing area of the bathroom. Where does the rainwater from the roof go? Have you ever thought? So here are the sources of wastewater. Toilet. Where does it go? It goes to underground sewers. Is it maintained well in your locality? You have to answer. Now kitchen or washroom. Where does it go? It will go to the drain. Is it maintained well into your locality? You have to write yes or no. Roof and balcony. Where does the wastewater from the roof and balcony go? Sewer system. Garden and rainwater from this, it will go directly into the ground. Okay, from the sewer it will go to the ground. The wastewater from our houses is carried away through sewage pipes. There are pipes containing this sewage. All the wastewater will flow from the sewage pipes. Disposal of domestic water. Disposal. What do you mean by disposal? The action of getting rid of something. If you don't want something, you get rid of it, right? So that is known as a disposal. Domestic wastewater disposal is in a direct control. We can directly control its disposal before it enters into rivers, stream and other water bodies. We can also treat its disposal. Washing anything, flushing toilet, water containing paper, cloth, soap, detergent, oil, grease, food scrap, feces go down the drain. This water accumulates, means gathers and forms a sewage. Everything is there in the sewage. In large city, this is known as a municipal wastewater. Let us look at this journey. So what is a sewage? Sewage will contain all the types of dirty wastewater that is coming from the flushing of toilet or water that is containing paper or cloth or soap or detergent. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the sewer system? A channel system of pipeline used to carry sewage is known as a sewage system. Of course, there should be a pipe which will carry this sewage water to its treatment plant. That will be known as a sewer system. The sewage leaves houses through drain pipes and flow to the sewer mains of the city. The sewer mains flow progressively into the large pipes until they reach the wastewater treatment plant. Waste flows easily through sewers due to slight slope given to the drainage system. Most sewer pipes are underground. If there is a leak or blockage in any of these pipes, there are manholes, or you can also call it as gutter, through which a machine or a person may enter a sewer, or suppose if there is any leak in the pipe, one person can go or a machine can go and repair the damage and come back. Okay, it is very important, because if it is not done properly, what will happen? This impure water will start getting mixed with the household pure water and it will cause disease. So it's very important to repair this. Take note, drainage system is not a new discovery for mankind. People in the Indus Valley civilization about 3000 years ago had built a well-connected drainage system in every town they established. To our surprise, they had constructed covered drains lined with baked bricks and mortar, which we are even not attaining so much of material and technological development. Even if we are so technologically advanced, then also we are not getting how they constructed covered drains lined with baked bricks and mortar. How did they do? Have not succeeded to do in each of the human settlement. Now we are going to study about wastewater treatment plant. What do you mean by wastewater treatment plant? This you can see in the picture, my dear student, how well the system is connected and how well the wastewater is systematically flowing into the drains. Wastewater treatment plant. Treatment of wastewater from domestic as well as industrial source is called wastewater treatment plant. Treatment means what? You can make it again. You can reuse it, okay, after treatment. The stages involved in this process, the wastewater can be carried from the domestic as well as industrial source and can be treated again and make it reusable. Primary mechanical process stage. Here what will happen? It involves screening and settling of large particle. As we know, sewage is everything, okay? All the waste are there in the sewage, okay? Maybe it's a napkin, or maybe it's a paper, maybe it's a rag, everything. First, the sewage is passed through a grit or sand removal tank called grit chamber. The speed of incoming wastewater is reduced so that sand, grit, pebbles, etc. get settled down. The water is passed through sedimentation tank. The solid feces is allowed to settle down to form sludge, and then light floatable waste such as soap, oil, grease, etc. Rise called scum. Okay, this is very important. Okay, whatever which is settling down will be known as sludge, and whatever is floating on the wastewater, that will known as a scum. The water that comes out of the sedimentation tank is known as a clarified water. So I would like to explain by this diagram, my dear student. All the water which is wastewater is passed through coarse screen and then it will go through the fine screen. So what will happen, my dear student? All the papers, napkin will be stopped here. Okay. Now this water is passed through a grit chamber. Now grit chamber, what happens in the grit chamber? All the sand, pebbles, everything which is a very fine particle will settle here. The heavy particles will settle here in the sludge digester, and the light floating material will settle down. Grit means sand. All the sand particles will gather here, get accumulated here. Now from where, my dear student? All the clean water will go to the primary sedimentation tank. Primary sedimentation tank, what is primary sedimentation? Where all the sands, pebbles and are removed. Okay. Now secondary or biological process stage. Organic matter in the sludge is broken down with the help of bacteria process called digestion, which result in the biogas production. The treatment can be speeded up by allowing air blown onto the sewage and water to flow into the large aeration tank. Now what is happening, my dear children? This sludge which have settled at the bottom of the tank, that is also called as sludge digester. What happens here? What is there here inside this tank? Human feces, animal dung, everything is there. Now sludge is very good for the soil. Now how it is treated? It is treated with the anaerobic bacteria. Now this anaerobic bacteria will treat this. This sludge also can be used to make biogas and produce electricity also. Now this sludge is passed on to the aeration tank where lots of air is passed, so that all the microorganism, all the bacteria will start digesting all the animal dung or the human feces and start making biogas. Okay. Now third and chemical process stage. Chemicals are used to remove phosphorus and nitrogen from the water. Addition of chlorine and exposure to ultraviolet light kill any remaining bacteria and disinfects the water. The water is then discharged into the water bodies. Now what is happening? After this water is clarified from the primary sedimentation, it will go to the clarifier tank. Okay, from here it will go to the clarifier tank. Now from the clarifier tank, what happens? Whatever remaining impurities are there, it will get settled here. Okay, and last, what is happening here? They are going to add this infected alum, or you can say they will put addition of chlorine and exposure to ultraviolet light will kill any of the remaining bacteria which disinfect the water. That is a last stage of the water, and this from here, my dear student, effluent means whatever is coming out of the treatment plant, that will be known as effluent. Then after it is discharged, it can come to our homes. So from here you have understood this. From chorus screen, this is a full sewage treatment plant. Okay, this is known as a clarifier where the most of the water will get clarified. Okay, and then it will pass through disinfection, sand filters and everything. Now science talk. Now we are going to learn about a very interesting topic known as eutrophication. What do you mean by eutrophication? Eutrophication is the artificial enrichment of an aquatic system. Aquatic means, aqua means water system by the addition of nutrients. The effect is often unintentional and harmful, indirectly causing the death of aquatic plants and animals. What is happening in this eutrophication process? Eutrophication is a process in which water receives excess nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus that stimulate excessive plant growth. Okay, all the nutrients, all the phosphorus and nitrogen is put inside the water for what? For the algal bloom or for the growth of many aquatic plants. It is primarily caused by the leaching of phosphate and nitrate containing fertilizer into the lakes or rivers. Okay, all the excessive fertilizers such as containing nitrate, containing fertilizer are put into the aquatic system. And what will happen as a result? Some algae and blue-grain bacteria thrive on this excess iron and population explosion known as the algal bloom occurs. So of course, if there is a fertilizer, what is going to happen? Excessive growth of the plants is going to happen. That you can see here, all the excessive nutrient you have put it into the aquatic plant. What is happening here? Second, plants flourish. All the plants will get proper nitrogen. These pollutants can cause aquatic plant growth of algae, duckweed and other plants. Of course, everything, this algae will start growing into the water because of the excessive fertilizer. Okay. Now what is happening? Oxygen is required by all respiring animals in the water and it is replenished by photosynthesis of green plant. The oxygen level is already low because of the population explosion, and further oxygen is taken up by microorganisms. Of course, because if there will be more plants, more oxygen will be used for photosynthesis, and also with the algae, there are also some animals living inside the aquatic plant, and there will be not enough oxygen for this aquatic plant because all the oxygen will be taken up by the algae. This will be also known as algal bloom. The oxygen level is already low because of the population explosion in which feed off the dead algae. Of course, if there will be green algae, there will also be death of the algae, and what will happen? In order to have the algae as a food, what will happen? Microorganism will thrive on this algae, and there will be lots of microorganism produced into the water. The layer of dead algae also forms a surface layer through which a little light can pass, and it will float onto the surface of the water, meaning the rate of photosynthesis decreases and the oxygen levels becomes depleted. All the dead algae will float. How will the sunlight will go inside? No sunlight can go. The very little sunlight can go inside. And what will happen at the end, my dear student? Due to the less of oxygen into the water, all the aquatic fish and aquatic animals also die. Okay. What happens to the treated water? After water is treated, what happens? Where does it go? It goes for supplying drinking water, for aquaculture. Okay, for what do you mean by aquaculture? Aquaculture means rearing of fish. Okay. Treated water is released into the water bodies such as streams and rivers, and this treated water body is left back, okay, again led into the rivers, and this water also can be used for agricultural purposes. Now this sludge which you have collected for biogas production, where what happens to this sludge, that we will see. Sludge consists of human feces and other organic matter that we have already studied. It also contains large amounts of water and can be thickened, so it can be transported easily and used as a compost in the farmland. There are 3 methods to do so. Okay, this sludge can be used. My dear. How this sludge can be used? This sludge can be incinerated. Incinerated means what? This sludge can be burned. So what will happen? The ash which is going to be produced as a result of this burning will be used as a soil conditioner. Now second one, dewatering means this sludge you can dewater because it will contain mostly of water. This sludge may be dewatered and then combined with other waste to make fertilizer, because we all know this animal waste or human feces is very good source of nitrogen, and which is very very important for the plant growth. And third one is solid composting. Sludge may be composted or processed to produce gas that can be used as a fuel, or you can also use this sludge as a fuel in order to produce biogas that we have already learned. Measures taken to control the generation of sewage. Now it is very important to control this production of the sewage, because we cannot keep making all the dirty thrown into the river. So we have to curb. Now what are the measures that we can take in order to curb this generation of the sewage? First of all, use flushes with low capacity, okay, at your home. Never dispose chemical products such as cleanser, beauty product, medicine and automobile down the drain. You have to never throw any of these products into the drain. Material that can clog. Controlling sewage generation. So measures taken to control generation of sewage. How can you control the generation of sewage? There are so many steps. Okay, first of all, use flushes with low capacity so that less water is used. Never dispose or throw chemical products such as cleanser, beauty products, medicine and automobile oil down the drain. Okay, it will clog the pipes, so you don't have to throw. Material that can clog pipes such as excess cooking oil, butter, meat, fats and plastic should be disposed of in the garbage. It can. This material can cause sewage to overflow. All this oil, butter you can throw into the dustbin. You don't have to flow it down the drain. Fix leakages in sewer pipes. Of course, these leakage can contaminate drinking water and seep, means go deeper into the water table. It can also stagnate or collect in certain places and then become the breeding place of disease causing insect like flies, cockroaches and mosquito. Of course, this is very very important, because if this is not done properly, if there is any leak in the pipes, what will happen? It will start mixing with the pure water that is coming at our homes. Okay, so we have to be very careful of this. There is also Ganga Action Plan. The Ganga Action Plan was launched by Shri Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, on June 1985, with the main objective to improve the water quality, diversion and treatment of domestic sewage and present toxic and industrial chemical waste from identified grossly polluting units entering into the river. The other objective of the Ganga action plans are as under. We all know, my dear student, all the dirt and waste product is thrown directly into the river by the industry. So Shri Rajiv Gandhi made sure that this is curbed or this is stopped. Okay, so what are the objective of the Ganga action plan? Why it was launched? It was launched to control the non-point pollution from the agriculture runoff, human defecation, cattle waste, and throwing of unburnt and half-burnt bodies into the river. My dear student, we can see still also bodies and ashes are thrown into the river. So in order to stop that or make it so in order to stop this, what happened? Shri Rajiv Gandhi made this Ganga action plan. Now, research and development to conserve the biotic and diversity of the river. There was research done and development, okay, to conserve the biotic. Whatever biotic animals are dying inside the water, there was a research on that and how to prevent it. Okay, it was researched. Rehabilitation of soft-shelled turtles for pollution abatement of river has been found useful. Okay, rehabilitation means turtles were dying because of the impure water, because of the pollution in the water. So rehabilitation of soft-shelled turtles was done. Resource recovery options such as production of methane for energy generation and use of aquaculture for revenue generation have been demonstrated. Okay, there were so many options to use methane for energy generation. Okay, and use of aquaculture. Aquaculture means what? Aquatic system. Okay, for revenue generation. You can use water also as a revenue generation or for the production, for the money. Okay, in order to do that, you have to make this water very, very clean. Then only you can do aquaculture. If the water is dirty, you cannot use aquaculture. You cannot do aquaculture. Okay. Now, my dear student, there are alternative method of sewage disposal into the villages. Okay, where there are no proper pipes connected. In the villages, my dear student, you can see how nicely this system you can see into the urban areas. Okay, but this system also is equally important and equally usable form. Okay, now what is this we will learn? Household wastewater is allowed to flow into the underground septic tank. Sludge settle down at the bottom. Same here, whatever sludge is going to settle down here, same sludge animal waste is going to settle at the bottom of the tank. Lighter waste floats on the surface. Bacteria helps in partially decomposing the solid waste. The liquid waste is then allowed to flow out of the tank through pipes and then into the ground where it mixes with the soil. So bacteria will biodegrade the sludge, okay, and it will make it good for biogas production. And whatever liquid which is obtained, it is allowed to flow in the ground where it mixes with the soil. Septic tanks are also mostly used in semi-urban areas. It is a low-cost on-site disposal system. Encouraged to manage the waste. This type of system you can see in the village area. Now, biogas plant is mostly found in villages and small towns. Human and animal excreta flow through this converted into biogas plant where microorganisms break down the material present in the waste and produce biogas. This biogas is then used to produce. Here also same thing was happening, my dear students. So here also all this sludge, and in this septic lots of microorganisms and bacteria are there, so which will break down the matter which is animal dung or animal waste or human feces into the biogas. Vermicomposting toilets are based on the innovative design in which earthworms are used to convert human excreta into compost. There is a minimal use of water and it is safe and hygienic way of processing human waste. My dear student, you all know earthworms are best friends of the farmer. So here also earthworms can be used to be kept into the compost. Okay, human excreta can be mixed with the earthworms, and earthworms what it will do? it is a very innovative design in which earthworms are used to convert. This will convert human excreta into compost. Okay, which is very, very important, and this compost can be used in the farms. Improper management of sewage. What if your house pipes of the sewage is leaking? What will happen? What is the main cause of water pollution? You may wonder that major cause of water pollution is the improper sewage disposal of domestic waste as well as industrial waste. Sometimes we ignore the domestic waste that directly get mixed with water body due to our carelessness. Because if we are careless, we are not going to take care of the leaked pipe, we are going to only suffer. The given diagram explain how domestic waste can seep into the ground and get mixed with the groundwater. Here you can see clearly if it is leaked, this can mix into the groundwater. Okay. See here, my dear student. This is leaked. Okay. This is broken and this can go directly into the ground and mix with the pure water. What will happen if waste is not managed properly? What will happen if the waste is not managed properly? Water pollution, which is very common in major cities, caused by the discharge of untreated or partly treated sewage into the water. If you are not careful, and we are going to see, you can see the water is so dirty and black, okay, because it is impure water and it is thrown into the river. It makes the water unfit for drinking and domestic use. We all know we cannot drink this type of water. Ganga and Yamuna river receive tons of untreated sewage daily. These rivers are regarded as open sewers because all the dirt is thrown directly into this river. You can see the color of this untreated water. The contamination in water in rivers and underground water is responsible for major waterborne epidemics such as jaundice, cholera and hepatitis. They may suffer from disease like gastroenteritis. So the contamination in water in rivers and underground water is responsible for major waterborne epidemics such as jaundice, cholera and hepatitis. They may suffer from disease like gastroenteritis, dysentery and typhoid. Leakages in several places or due to faulty lines lead to fresh water to get mixed with. Okay, so if there is a faulty pipeline or if this is not treated properly, all this water will come into a house and we will get this type of disease. So we have to be very careful and we have to see that whatever water you are going to have, it is clean. Please boil the water right now and have it. Stay safe. Thank you.